Hello and welcome to Car Garage. Today we ask you a question. What if you had 10 million pounds to spend and only 10 cars to buy? You have to exhaust this budget but not go over it. What 10 cars would you choose and why? Today find out what 10 cars we have chosen in our attempt to exhaust this budget. But we've tried our best not to go over it.
The first car we have is Lamborghini Urus Mansory. Performance and luxury go hand in hand. The price of this car is £184,000 and now we are left with £9,816,000.
Mansory is known to create one head turner after another. This one is no less. It's called the Venatus, which is Latin for hunting or to hunt. On that note, this car definitely gets the right name. 799 horsepower, 1000 Newton meters of torque, and 0 to 100 in just 3.3 seconds with a top speed of 330 kilometers an hour. This car gets it all. A 4-liter twin-turbo V8 that performs too well for an SUV. One of the fastest SUVs on this planet right now, actually. The exterior looks far more menacing. This car gets carbon fiber bits all around the exterior, 24-inch wheels, and neon accents throughout the exterior. It actually looks nothing like the normal Urus. You can totally differentiate it on the road, and this car looks like a proper sports car. The interior gets a blue leather finish. It might be to somebody's taste, but the all-in-all interior looks great. Alcantara finish on the seats, and the consoles look actually very amazing. There's also neon touches inside as well, and the rear exhausts look amazing. By the way, you can hear that from the inside for sure. This car might look like overkill, but then if you had 10 million pounds to spend, wouldn't you want it?
The next car we have is Coleman King, the most expensive SUV money can buy. The price of this car is £1,560,000 and now we are left with £8,256,000.
Coleman King, a true SUV that looks nothing like another SUV. Based on the Ford F550, it is designed by the Chinese company IAT and built by a team in Europe. They wanted to achieve a stealth vehicle-like design, and it's a total visual feast. This car, although it is a beast, has a top speed of only 87 miles per hour and gets a 6-liter V10 again from the Ford F550. This has been mated to a 6-speed gearbox, and that should translate to some speed, right? But this car weighs 4.5 tons and the optional bulletproofing lands it to 6 tons. For more than £1 million, you can do the same speed as a Dacia Sandero. But then again, you have the car that everybody wants. A car with a PlayStation, a car with an air purifier, a fridge, a coffee machine, neon lighting, a flat screen TV, and the comfort of a Rolls Royce. All this sounds nothing like a normal car, and Coleman King is just that. Not a normal car.
The next car we have is Mercedes-Benz AMG G63 6x6. So capable you'll go off-road all the time. The price of this car is £1,134,000 and now we are left with £7,122,000.
A G-Wagon is a crazy SUV. It actually has all you need. But a G-Wagon with 6 wheels? That is on another level. This car is a G63 6x6. Gets 6 wheels and the road presence of a monster truck. This car gets a 5.5-liter twin-turbo V8 engine that produces 544 horsepower and about 560 pound-feet of torque. It can march up to 62 miles per hour in just 7.8 seconds, and the car actually climbs over rocks like a mountain goat. It gets 5 differential locks, 37-inch tires, and all the off-road gadgetry that you can require. The interiors are nothing short of comfortable. It gets heated and cooled seats, a sliding sunroof, rear infotainment system, Harman Kardon surround sound, and amazing leather interior. So if this is the car that you want, it can take you any place in this world and still have you comfortable.
The next car we have is Mercedes 300 SL, class apart sports car from the past. The price of this car is 1,326,466 pounds, and now we are left with 5,795,534 pounds.
The Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, both the cars, the Gullwing and the Roadster, they were produced from 1954 till 1963. That's old, but this car doesn't seem to get old. This evergreen machine by Mercedes still performs good by today's standards and has the looks that can sway you off your feet. In its standard form, the car would get 215 brake horsepower, but a little tune-up and it would go right up to 250 horsepower and 228 pound-feet of torque. This car gets a 3-liter 6-cylinder engine and a 4-speed manual mated to it. A 0 to 62 miles per hour time of just 7 seconds makes it look like a car from a very recent past, not that far away. A top speed of about 150 miles per hour and the length of over 4 meters. This car definitely will make you the king of the road. If you love classic cars, then this is the sports car you need in your garage.
The next car we have is McLaren Senna, the ultimate hypercar by McLaren. The price of this car is £1,100,000, and now we are left with £4,695,534.
Ayrton Senna, he was a Brazilian racing driver with 65 pole positions on his name. This race driver was no joke, and this car is no joke either. The GTR version of this car is not even street legal, it's solely for track use. And the street legal base model? Well, it gets a 4-liter V8 that generates 789 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. It can do 0 to 62 in just 2.8 seconds and gets a race mode that can lower its suspension to 1.5 inches in the front and by 1.2 inches in the rear. This car is actually going to be an orchestra for your eardrums. The performance of an absolute mad machine. And it tears up the road wherever it goes. You will definitely be the center of attraction sitting in the driver's seat of this car, no matter where you are. The car comes with dihedral doors and has room for 2 seats. The passengers are hugged tight into the seats and there's only enough storage space in the cabin. You can't really put much inside apart from your helmet. The Senna doesn't get a trunk, so there is absolutely zero cargo space. But would you really need cargo space in a car that could basically beat anything else? No, you wouldn't want to make it heavier. If you have £10 million to spend, this will definitely be your favorite weekend drive.
The next car we have is Porsche 918 Spider. This car feels alive on the track. The price of this car is £800,000, and now we are left with £3,895,534.
The 918 is a hybrid hypercar like no other. A 9000 RPM revving 4.6 liter V8 and two electric motors that give the four-wheel drive car 875 horsepower and an even more incredible 944 pound-feet of torque. Nothing competes with this car, and also it gets an electric range of 12 miles. That is actually better than other competitors for sure, the McLaren P1 and the LaFerrari. 0 to 62 takes time of only 2.6 seconds, and to 124 is 7.2 seconds. With a top speed of 214 miles per hour, this is the sports car you need. The four-wheel drive system is there to ensure that even during rain, your car performs the best on the track. You can break all speed limits, like every track is Nürburgring, when you're driving the Porsche 918. And this car will definitely look great in your collection.
The next car we have is Aston Martin Lagonda Taraf, world's most expensive saloon. The price of this car is £875,000, and now we are left with £3,020,534.
The Aston Martin Lagonda Taraf. It's the world's most expensive saloon car. It costs the double of a Rolls-Royce Phantom. Taraf means excellent luxury in Arabic, and it gets a 6-litre V12 engine, a VH bonded aluminum architecture, and it proves to be the safest car that has ever been built. The back of this car is where the effort has been put in. All leather, that's all you can feel. And the luxury touches don't stop at that. You get every feature that you can imagine. And this car gets no rivals, but it still puts all other cars to shame. The car gets a 6-litre petrol V12 engine that produces 540 bhp, a torque of 465 pound-feet, and 0 to 62 takes only 4.4 seconds. This 195 plus top speed car gets a 8-speed torque converter gearbox and an absolute look of a car that comes from the future. It is fascinating to start with, and the fascination doesn't end with the car. This is a true machine that you need in your garage if you have £10 million to spend. A 6-door Mercedes with a V8 engine, 250.
The next car is Rolls-Royce Phantom. Rolls doesn't need any introduction. The price of this car is £500,000, and now we are left with £2,140,000.
It's about the size of a tiny house and almost 10 times more expensive. The Rolls-Royce Phantom justifies its price tag with the most luxurious cabin any car has ever seen. A V12 engine provides seemingly endless power, and yet it stays silent when it comes to the interiors. Real leather, real wood, and genuine metal. That is all you can see in every square inch of the cabin. The interior now gets a dual 12-inch monitor. They are about the size of a normal laptop. And this feature-rich car is now going digital. The extended wheelbase model gives you enough comfort in the rear seats to take a sleep on your way to your office. The engine churns out 563 horsepower, and a 5.1 second time for 0 to 62 is no joke. But inside this car, where you feel cocooned from the real world, this is where you truly feel like royalty, and you don't care what the features are and what the interior look like.
The last car we have is Pagani Huayra, the most extreme Pagani hypercar. The price of this car is £2,100,000. And with this, we exhaust our budget.
The Pagani Huayra needs no introduction. Coming from a legacy like a Pagani is no joke. For the 2020 model year, this might be the last production year of this car. It gets tons of features for a hypercar, and apart from that, a luxury feel and a road presence that no other car can match. A twin turbocharged V12 powers this car. It's sourced from Mercedes-AMG and generates 791 horsepower and 775 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 7-speed single-clutch automatic and sends power to the rear wheels. You must wonder why this car gets a single-speed clutch setup rather than a dual-speed. Well, the dual-clutch setup is actually heavier, and that is why they have gone for the single-speed. The 0 to 60 time for this car is just 3.3 seconds, and it can actually generate up to 1.9 Gs of lethal acceleration force. The interior of this car actually looks artisanal. The attention to detail is extraordinary, and the materials used are of unmatched quality. All in all, this is the car that you'd like to see every morning when you wake up. Just gaze at it with a cup of coffee in your hand and wonder why you didn't spend all of your 10 millions buying Huayras just like this.
If you liked the video, press the like button, share the video and subscribe to the channel.